Assemblymember Carrillo, the floor is yours now officially.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, members. I am proud to present Assembly Bill 665, which would expand access to mental health care for young people using Medi-Cal. Across the countries, our communities are facing young people across our communities are facing a mental health crisis, and the numbers are shocking. From mass shootings in public spaces, in particular school shootings, as well as fentanyl overdoses and social media bullying, young people are experiencing a new reality different than what we did growing up. A new report from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention states that 2 in 5 teens felt persistent sadness or loneliness. Among teenage girls, it's 3 in 5. That's a 60%. 13 years ago, there was a bipartisan agreement that we needed to empower our young people to address their mental health needs as early and as quickly as possible. But young people that are Medi-Cal recipients were left out. Only about 20% of young people receiving Medi-Cal can get screened for depression, but we know the need is much higher. We all deserve a life full of pride and full of dignity, and what we are doing today is simply expanding care for those that already receive mental health access and resources through private insurance and expanding it to Medi-Cal. It starts with ourselves, it starts with our parents and grandparents to acknowledge the trauma of families have lived through and recognize that there is a big difference between surviving and living. Here to testify and talk more of the need of the bill, as well as answer any technical questions, are Taylor Chambers, the attorney and legal fellow at the National Center of Youth Law, and Esther Lau, a student advocate and coalition member in support of this bill.
Thank you. Ma'am, thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Taylor Chambers. I'm an attorney at the National Center for Youth Law, a co-sponsor and strong supporter of AB 665. AB 665 addresses a deeply inequitable policy that creates added barriers for youth on Medi-Cal to access mental health counseling. We all want youth to be healthy, safe, and thrive. To ensure that, young people need access to quality health care, including mental health support from trusted providers. California lawmakers have long recognized this. More than 40 years ago, the legislature passed a law allowing youth ages 12 and up to access outpatient mental health care based on their own consent in some circumstances. This long-standing right has been a critical pathway to care. But due to an inconsistency between the parallel sections of the Family Code and the Health and Safety Code, youth who rely on Medi-Cal must meet significantly higher levels of acuity before insurance will pay for their care. In practice, this means that youth on private insurance can access needed care at an earlier stage, while youth on Medi-Cal must effectively be in crisis before insurance will pay for their care. Youth on Medi-Cal are predominantly youth of color and youth experiencing poverty, and this stricter standard compounds the already heightened risk factors they face. AB 665 would address this inequity by aligning the standards in Family Code with long-established law and Health and Safety Code, so all youth can access the support they need regardless of what insurance they have. Removing this barrier is critical given the current mental health crisis that our children face right now. CDC data shows heartbreaking rates of attempted suicide and persistent sadness and hopelessness increasing among youth, making it even more important to open every possible door to care. I urge you to vote yes on this important bill. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Next witness.
Good afternoon, Chair and members. My name is Esther Lau. I'm a student advocate from the San Francisco Bay Area, and I'm here in support of AB 665, which would allow youth relying on Medi-Cal to consent to outpatient mental health services, holding them to the same standard as youth on private insurance. As a low-income student whose family has heavily benefited from public assistance programs, including Medi-Cal, CalFresh, and Section 8 housing, I've experienced what it's like to seek mental health support throughout the Medi-Cal system. In my sophomore year of high school, during the height of the pandemic, I was struggling with mental health like many others were at the time. My parents were incredibly understanding and supportive, encouraging me to seek mental health support. But as first-generation immigrants, they were quite unfamiliar with the healthcare system, so I was a primary point of contact and navigated the Medi-Cal system myself. I asked my provider for access to therapy, but due to a number of reasons like long wait lists, administrative complications, and the bureaucratic nature of Medi-Cal, I was denied access to mental health care. Luckily, with the help of the internet, I discovered I lived near Alcove, a mental health clinic established in partnership with Stanford University that provides free short-term therapy to youth. I'm incredibly grateful that the support I received at Alcove was transformative for my mental health. But unfortunately, it's rare for youth to live in close proximity to free mental health clinics like these, which is why AB 665 is so important. By aligning standards of access for Medi-Cal youth and youth on private insurance, AB 665 affirms that access to mental health services is essential health care and a human right. For these reasons, I urge your aye vote. Thank you.
Others are here in the hearing room who are in support of AB 665. Please approach the microphone. Give us your name, your association, and your position.
Becca Kramer Matter on behalf of ACLU California Action and strong support.
Thank you.
Tracy Rosenberg on behalf of Oakland Privacy and strong support of AB 665.
Thank you.
Adrienne Shilton on behalf of the California Alliance of Child and Family Services, proud co-sponsor and support.
Melissa Lovato on behalf of the County of Santa Clara in support.
Angela Vasquez, the Children's Partnership, co-sponsor and strong support, and I've been asked to read the list of supporters. California Alliance of Child and Family Services, the Children's Partnership, National Health Law Program, National Center for Youth Law, Gen Up, Cal Voices, California Children's Trust, A Greater Hope, ACCE Action, ACLU California Action, Alameda County Board of Supervisors, Alliance for a Better Community, Alum Rock Counseling Center, American Academy of Pediatrics, API Equality LA, Asian Americans Advancing Justice Southern California, Aspiranet, Blue Shield of California, Board of Behavioral Sciences, California Academy of Family Physicians, California Association of Certified Family Law Specialists, California Association of Social Rehabilitation Agencies, California Coalition for Youth, California Family Resource
All right.
Association.
Thank you. Let me just make sure that the rules are clear. That when you approach the microphone for what we call Me Too testimony, you should give us the organizations with which you are affiliated. So, for example, if you're a board member, if you're president of the organization, or if you've been retained by the organization, let us know. Otherwise, we have the list of supporters, so we actually can read. I know many don't think we can, but we can. So, okay.
If I could add two that are not in the analysis.
Right, that you represent or you're affiliated with.
I'm affiliated with the coalition and co-sponsor of the bill.
All right.
Visión y Compromiso and Haywood Burns Institute.
All righty. Thank you. Others who are here in the hearing room in support. Seeing no one else approach the microphone, let's now turn to the opposition. Same rules will apply to the opposition as it did to those who are in support. Go ahead. I'm sorry?
I brought materials for the senators to consider.
All right, thank you. We'll ask the sergeant to distribute the materials.
Pass out. Okay.
All right, thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Nicole Pearson, attorney, Facts, Law, Truth, Justice, representing tens of thousands of California families. Assemblywoman Carrillo and Senator Scott Wiener claim that AB 665 is designed just to expand access to mental health services to kids enrolled in Medi-Cal. If this was really about funding, it would have been heard in an appropriations committee, and it has not. If it was really about expanding access, all the authors needed to do was strike one word from the Welfare and Institutions Code, not, which controls funding. But they didn't. Instead, they want to amend the Family Code and strike 44 years of guardrails that ensure that mental health providers only place a child into a residential shelter if that child is in danger of abuse, incest, or harm of self to themselves or others. The authors want to change the law to let a 12-year-old opt out of their home on a whim, invoking parental separation and emancipation of minors without any claim of danger or parental consent. This is child emancipation. We have heard nothing as to why they want to make it easier for kids to be taken to shelters. Again, if the authors wanted to expand access, all they had to do was strike one word from the Welfare and Institutions Code and we're done. But AB 665 is not about obtaining Medi-Cal coverage or aligning two codes. It's about taking children from parents without a claim of abuse. The bill presentation has been lowballing what the authors want to present, saying it's about parity and extreme situations, using minorities and indigenous and the LGBTQ communities to hide the actual intent and impact of the bill, when really it's a broad, unclear, and badly written, dangerous bill. When it's your turn, please ask the hard questions of the authors. You have Democrat and Republican parents here in a panic. Ask the real questions and vote no or abstain on AB 665. I'm here to answer any questions you might have. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Next witness in opposition.
Hello, my name is Wendy Minas. I am a mother of 5, ages 2 to 19, and I'm from Los Angeles. And for my children attend LAUSD. I drove here with my children when I found out AB 665 will emancipate 12-year-olds to self-consent to living in a group home or residential facility by removing the existing guardrails for proof of abuse or danger prior. Have each of you used your elected platforms and networks to inform and speak with the people of California? It doesn't seem so, because when I talk to my community, no one knows about it, and when they hear about it, they are shocked and angry that you would consider passing an extreme bill that would break apart families during a child's most difficult and challenging years. You have passed laws putting in protections of interrogation and vaping because you know the prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed until age 26. You know children 12 and up are at their most vulnerable in their emotional and mental development, and even more so under current social media influences and COVID. Kids can be impulsive, influenced, and rebellious, and instead of emancipating them, we should be creating programs that support communication and keeping families together. As parents, we are constantly navigating how to support our children in their growth while protecting and guiding them through challenging situations. What about when your daughter starts talking to a much older boy, or your son is accessing unhealthy media sites? Or what if they are just hanging out with kids that are getting in trouble and you try and guide them through that with boundaries and they rebel? AB 665 will emancipate them to leave home and be able to continue the dangerous behavior and also be subject to additional dangerous circumstances and group and residential facilities. A child could literally go to school one day and not come home and not realize they have just entered themselves into the state child welfare system, and you as a parent are left trying to find them and fight to get them back. I know the system, and we should all be doing everything to keep children out of it and keep families together. Who up here believes it's better for our kids to be a ward of the state and not be with their parents? I guess you'll show us all with your vote. Thank you.
All righty, thank you. All right. For those in opposition, please approach the microphone. Give us your name, your affiliation, and your position.
Erin Friday, R. Duty, Democrat of 37 years, mother to 2 children. I oppose.
My name is Ava DuBose, and I oppose this bill.
Thank you.
My name is Denise Aguilar, co-founder of Freedom Angels, and we oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Tara Thornton, co-founder of Freedom Angels, and we oppose this bill.
Allie Snyder, mother of 2, registered voter. I oppose this bill.
Shrina Latch, mother of 3, CPU member, and a member of Educate Advocate, and I'm in strong opposition of this bill and asking for a no vote.
Thank you.
Don't take our children. Thank you.
Harrison Tinsley, single dad, opposed. Also, please amend 957. Thank you.
Stephen Barassa, I oppose gender-affirming sex conversion without parental consent.
Haley Page with Mom Army, I oppose.
Thank you.
Margaret Arader, I'm a survivor of grooming and assault in an adolescent treatment
All right.
center.
Are you opposed?
I oppose.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, members. Kasia Williams on behalf of California Parents Union, a special interest group for parents, grandparents, teachers. We are in opposition to AB 665. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Shannon Kurtz. I'm a member of California Parents Union, and I represent over 100 parents for California Parents' Rights Act Now, and we oppose.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Lisa Disbrow, veteran public school teacher representing Teachers Against Groomers, La Mirandans for Education, and Informed Parents of Contra Costa against this issue.
Thank you.
David Bolog on behalf of the Los Angeles area San Fernando Valley parents in opposition.
Thank you.
Sabrina Williams, mother of 7. I also am the captain of Mom Army Sacramento, and we oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Veronica, mother of 5, former youth pastor, and I oppose.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Patricia Diancheco. I'm a registered nurse and a mother of 5, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
My name is Daphne Hewitt. I am with Catholic Families for Freedom, and I oppose this bill.
Good afternoon. My name is Charlotte Johnson. I'm the mother of 2.
a registered independent voter, and I vehemently oppose this bill.
Thank you.
My name is Colleen Britton. I'm with California Leaders Network and California Legislative Voice. Strongly opposed.
Thank you.
My name is Susan Kregel. I'm a registered Democrat, mother. I oppose.
My name is Julius Giles. I'm a reporter in news analysis, and I 100% oppose this bill.
Hi. On behalf of myself, my family, and my friends back in Los Angeles, I oppose.
Mi nombre es Patricia Cavada y les pido que por favor voten no en este bill que le va a hacer daño a las comunidades latino, indígena y los inmigrantes que vienen aquí. Por favor, voten no.
Jeanette Felt, Sacramento County, mother of 2, grandmother of 1, and I oppose this bill.
Thank you.
I'm a pastor and member of CPU. I appreciate if you guys don't pass this. It's unconstitutional. I'm in opposition.
My name is Susan Waters. I'm a mother of 3, grandmother of 3, and a physician. I strongly oppose AB 665 and the emancipation of 12-year-olds.
Alrighty. Thank you.
I am Amanda Covatana. I live in the San Mateo County. I'm a lesbian, a writer, and longtime activist and Democrat. I strongly oppose.
Thank you.
I'm Barbara Hyde from Fremont, and I've been a voter on the Democratic ticket for 57 years, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Sherry Meek, I live in Oakland, California. I've been a lifelong Democratic voter, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
I'm Jane Jackson. I'm from Alameda. I'm a mother and a grandmother, and I strongly oppose this bill
Thank you.
and the grooming of children.
Thank you.
Jessica Bowen, Alameda County. I'm a grandmother of 2, and I oppose this bill as it is eloquently stated by the opposition
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Me llamo Nicole Pearson, también soy inmigrante y minoridad latina, y yo opongo este proyecto de ley. Gracias.
Max Bonilla with Rebuild California, Sacramento resident, here to voice my strong opposition.
Thank you.
Judith Cahill, registered Democrat. I'm a mom. I'm against this bill.
Thank you.
Lauren Wall Sanchez, former lifelong Democrat of 40-plus years and public health professional, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you. All right.
AKA Geneva, Mrs. G, and I'm opposing this bill for all the kids in Orange County.
Thank you. All right. Go ahead. You have to approach the microphone so we can hear you.
Alexis Rodriguez with the California Medical Association in support.
Thank you.
Taylor Jackson with California Health Plus Advocates, representing California's almost 1,300 community health centers and clinics in support.
Thank you.
Izzy Swindler with Shaw Yoder and Schmelzer Lang on behalf of the California State Association of Psychiatrists and the California Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatrists in support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jennifer Alley with the California Psychological Association in support.
Thank you.
Kelly Beam on behalf of HealthNet of California, serving over 2 million Medi-Cal enrollees in support.
Thank you.
Tiffany Whiten with SEIU California in support.
Thank you.
Kim Lewis representing Aspiranet and the California Coalition for Youth in support.
Thank you.
Ryan Souza on behalf of Essential Access Health in support.
Thank you.
Nora Lynn on behalf of Children Now in support.
Thank you.
Christine Campbell, I'm a concerned mother and in definite opposition.
Thank you.
Hello, Mike Mattingly with the Funky Fathers and the Who Owns Your Body. Does who own your body? If you own your body, then you don't own your body, and that makes you a slave organization.
Are you opposed?
I'm opposed.
Alrighty. Thank you very much. All right.
My name is Stephanie Suela. I'm here from Rebuild, California, and I strongly oppose this. Being a mother,
a grandmother, and a great-grandmother. Stay away from the kids.
Thank you.
My name is Michael Hawes. I'm here with the Freedom Riders, and we strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
I'm Catherine Bolos, 35-year Sacramento County voter and Sacramento public school teacher, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Hola, me llamo Blanca y estoy con el grupo Stand Up Sacramento County y estoy en oposición de este bill.
All right, thank you.
My name is Ethan Lee. I'm with the California Family Council. I vehemently oppose this bill.
Thank you.
My name is Kara Butler from Contra Costa County. I have 2 teenage sons who oppose this bill alongside me.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. Sarah Martinez. I'm a mom from Contra Costa County, and I oppose AB 665.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Leslie Barron. I'm a mother, and I'm also a registered voter in Sacramento County, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Brina Sheehy on behalf of PERC Advocacy in opposition to AB 665, and
Thank
we
you.
urge a no vote.
Thank you.
Terry Miller, Sacramento resident, stepmother, step-grandmother, CASA worker. I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Bo King, resident of Sacramento County. You do not have the right to take children away from
All right, thank you.
parents.
Eric Malley, elder of Light Dove Ministries. We oppose this bill.
Thank you.
California native, millennial, opposing 665. My name is Veronica. I highly oppose. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Elizabeth Kenny, Oakland.
You have to speak at the microphone.
Elizabeth Kenny, Oakland, California. I'm a mom and a grandmother, and I represent mothers over overreaching hands. I strongly oppose this bill. You see
Artie,
this?
thank you very much.
You see this?
All right. Thank you. Next, please.
There's a lot more of us, too.
Cheyenne Kenny, Central Committee member for the Alameda County Republican Party, and Gen Z. Strongly opposed.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ruth, and I strongly oppose. I'm a mother and a grandmother.
Thank you.
I'm Lisa Mullins from Contra Costa County. I'm a mother of 2. I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Barbara Walker from Alameda, mother of 3, registered Democrat. On behalf of Reality, I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Scott Dean, pastor of Elmira Baptist Church. We are strongly opposed.
Thank you.
Pastor Tim Benefield of Cornerstone Baptist Church in Modesto and father of 3, and ask for a no vote on AB 665. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pastor Brandon Campbell, Faith Baptist Church in Wheatland and Northern California, Director of the California Capital Connection for Independent Baptists, in opposition.
Thank you.
Matty Hyatt, California Civil Liberties Advocacy, unfortunately opposed.
Thank you.
Patricia Beebe, no party preference, lastcalifornian.com, strongly opposed.
Thank you.
Catherine Carlson, San Mateo, California. I strongly oppose this bill. It's
Thank you.
disgusting.
Mike Carlson, I live in the United Nations stronghold of San Mateo, California, right in the backyard of Stanford Research Institute.
All right. Thank you.
I strongly oppose this bill.
All right.
Thank you.
My name is Stephanie, California native, registered voter, and I am strongly against this bill. That's a heinous crime against humanity.
Thank you very much.
Cyrus Javati, Rockland, California. I'm a registered Republican, and I am a father, and I oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Jessica Wagner, I'm a parent, I'm a teacher. I represent Jim Shoemaker for Congress and San Joaquin CRA, and we oppose.
Thank you.
Chair and members, Lance Christensen, Vice President of the California Policy Center. I'm rising strong opposition to AB 665.
Artie, thank you. Seeing no one else approaching the microphone, moderator, let's turn to the phone lines. For those of you on the phone lines, we are, oh, I'm sorry. Did I speak too soon? Go ahead. Is there anyone else who wishes to testify? If they do, they need to approach the microphone, give us their name, their affiliation, and their position on the bill.
Thalia Caraveo, Sacramento resident, and I strongly oppose this bill.
All right, thank you very much. All right, now seeing no one else approaching the microphone, let's turn to the phone lines. For those of you who are on the phone line, we're going to permit 15 minutes of testimony, both support and opposition. I expect that we are not going to get to all the callers. You can submit written testimony if you wish. All right, moderator, please open the phone lines for those in support and in opposition to AB 665.
If you would like to testify in support or opposition to AB 665, please press 10 at this time. And first, we will hear from line 115. Please go ahead. Oh, my apologies. Line 142.
Hi, I'm calling on behalf of my public school teacher husband. His name is Daniel McKinnon. My name
All right.
is
Are you in
Andrea
support or
Hudson.
opposition?
And my affiliation is a mother of 4. I have a right to speak. 15 minutes is arbitrary. If you need to stay till midnight to listen to the people,
Thank you very
that's
much.
the
All
role
right,
of
moderator, let's go to the
representative
next caller.
government. Be the people, not
All right, thank you.
And next, we'll hear from line 170. Please go ahead.
Hi. I am Layla. I am 8.
Hi, I'm Ryder. I am 11, and we strongly oppose this bill.
Right,
and my name is Rochelle Cole, and I am a mother and a homeschooler, and I strongly oppose this bill. Protect parental rights.
Thank you very much.
Line 194.
Hello, Jennifer Johnson, Placer County, and a mother of 3. I strongly oppose this horrid bill.
All right, next.
Line 227.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Santos. I strongly oppose AB 665.
Next, we'll hear from line 222.
Hello, my name is Chloe Granger, and I am a mom and a homeschooler, and I strongly oppose this horrific bill.
Line 167.
Yes, my name is Nicole Young. I'm the Placer County Chapter Chair of Moms for Liberty and also a mother of 6. I represent over 2,000 families in the Placer County area, and we vehemently oppose this bill. Thank you.
Line 185.
Yes, my name is Linda Matter. I'm calling from Lincoln, California, Placer County. I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 229.
Hello, my name is Heather Jimenez. I'm from Hayward. I'm a parent and an early childhood educator. I support the access to health care, but I oppose the guardrails being removed for children and their parents.
Thank you very much.
137.
Hi, my name is Jill Hawkins. I'm from Santa Monica, California, and I represent 1,000 people here who oppose this bill from Santa Monica Freedom.
Thank you.
Line 85.
Hi, my name's Terry Prentice. I'm the founder of California Rise Up and a loving mother. I strongly oppose this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Line 193.
Hi, this is Rachel Catan, and I'm a member of Stand Up Sacramento County and founder of Natomas USA for Freedom, and we oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 195.
Hi, my name is Lori Lopez from Riverside, California, and I strongly oppose AB 665. Thank you.
Thank you.
Line 187.
Good afternoon, legislators. This is Gina McNaughton from El Dorado County, also the mother of a neurodiverse child with ADHD. I strongly oppose
oppose this abomination of a bill, AB
Thank you.
665. Please take.
All right, thank you.
Line 237.
My name is Lydia Person. I am a family law attorney and mediator. I've been certified by the state bar as a family law specialist. I have degrees in child development and
All right,
psychology.
thank you. Do you support or oppose? I will mark you as an opposition. All right, thank you. Next caller.
Line 86.
Hi, my name is Farnaz Petronio. I'm a mother of 3, and my children and I strongly oppose this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Line 173.
My name is Ted Hudako, father of 2, Catholic Youth Organization, approved coach in multiple sports. Strong opposition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Line 240.
Hi, my name is Denise Hernandez, and I'm from LA County, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 145.
Yes, my name is Jaylene Davidson. I'm with AV, Parents for Education, and Plumdale Freedom Coalition, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 174.
Yes, hello, thank you. This is Linda Bagnell, registered voter in Placer County. I am in opposition to AB 665.
Ready? Thank you.
Line 158.
Hi, my name is Michelle Richardson, and I'm a parent, a grandparent, and a small business employer in California, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 148.
Hi, my name is Capri Weekamp, a single mom and a Medi-Cal recipient, and I strongly oppose AB 665.
Thank you.
Line 155.
Hi, my name is Mondes Pei, and I oppose the bill AB 665. Thank you.
Thank you.
Line 110.
My name is Tina Barron. I'm an Orange County resident and a small business owner in California, and I strongly oppose AB 665.
Thank you.
Line 128.
My name is Joyce Uma, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 141.
Hi, Audra Starrett from Fair Oaks, California, a teacher and parent in opposition.
Thank you.
Line 144.
Hello, my name is Julia Hedlund. I oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 131.
Good afternoon. My name is Rose Antinados. I'm a mother, grandmother. I'm an educator and student advocate, and I oppose this bill.
Line 163.
Yes, my name is Catherine McBride, Placer County, teacher and mother of 3 with California Parents Union. I strongly oppose this anti-parent, unconstitutional bill, AB.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Next caller, please.
Line 183.
Hi, my name is Rosie Cole. I represent hundreds of moms here in Stanislaus County, California Nurses United, and I oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 185.
Yes, my name is Jane. I'm calling from Placer County, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Line 188.
My name is Julie Meador. I'm a parent and a strong proponent of family and mental health. Please don't support a bill that puts parents out of the equation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Line 189. Line 189, please go ahead. Line 190.
Ivan Purcell, Valencia, California, father of 3, strongly oppose.
Thank you.
Line 191.
Hi, Patrice Foxley, Caron Park, California, and I oppose this bill.
Line 199.
Hi, yes, my name is Tiffany Phipps. I'm a single parent. I do live in Tracy, California, of San Joaquin County. I strongly oppose this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Line 203.
my name is Anne Marie. I'm a mother and healthcare professional in California, and I strongly oppose this AB 665.
Thank you.
Line 176.
Sandra Esparza from Los Angeles County, calling to oppose AB 665.
Line 127.
Yes, Allison Mino, parent advocate, calling from San Diego, California. I strongly oppose AB 665.
Line 138.
Hi, my name is Doris. I'm a registered nurse and mother of two, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Line 216.
Curtis Lewis, AV Anti-Human Trafficking Coalition, and pastor at Faith Community Church, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 218.
Hi, this is Matt Tozer from Placer County, and I strongly oppose AB 665. Thank you.
Line 204.
My name is Denise Rucker Henry. I am a Christian, and all of heaven opposes AB 665. Thank you.
Thank you.
Line 207. Line 207, your mic is open. Please go ahead.
Keisha Lowe, parent, and I oppose AB 665.
Thank you.
Line 226.
Yes, Marlene. My name is Marlene Gomez. I'm mother of three, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Line 125.
My name is Ida Sarkisian. I'm a mother of two, and I strongly oppose AB 665.
Thank you.
Line 219.
Hello, my name is Vicki Collier. I'm a mother, a grandmother, a follower of Jesus Christ, and I oppose this bill, AB 665. I strongly oppose it.
Line 221.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Hello, your mic is open.
My name is
Go ahead.
Nancy Newland, representing Evermore Youth, and I strongly oppose.
Thank you.
Line 241.
Good afternoon, Cole Klein on behalf of KIPP SoCal Public Schools in support. Thank you.
Line 102.
Hi, my name is Salkis Sarkisian. I'm a mother of two. I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 162.
Hi, my name is Teresa Willis. I'm a mother of one, a single mother, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 241. I apologize, 247.
Hi, my name is Christina McKinney. I am a nurse in Riverside County and a recovering Democrat, and I am in strong opposition to this bill.
Thank you.
Line 157.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Tarantino from the Contra Costa County, and I'm a mother of five, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 229.
Here we go. Hi, I'm Evelyn, and I'm Rosen. We're from Alameda County, and we strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 185.
Yes, my name is Linda, and I'm calling from Livingston, and I strongly oppose this bill. This is not to be confused with Linda.
Alrighty,
Martin,
thank you very
my
much.
neighbor.
Line 196.
Hi, my name is Christy Russo from San Diego, and I'm a mother and former youth pastor, and I oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 161.
Hi, my name is Sophia Cisnado from Riverside County, mother and Christian follower of Jesus Christ. I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 246.
Hi, this is Gabrielle, founder of Stand Up Sacramento County, representing thousands in the area. Senator Ashby and Senator Niello, we oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Line 256.
Hi, is that me?
Yes, go ahead.
The phones are very confusing. and
Thank you,
people
ma'am.
think it's
Go
true,
ahead.
and at
State
some
your
point-
name, your affiliation, and your position.
Line 268.
That's our stalker. Yeah.
Line 268, please go ahead.
Oh, hi. This is Amber Dela Cruz. I'm in Tom Umberg's district,
I oppose, and I hope that Tom Umberg will oppose or abstain from voting also.
Thank you.
Line 271.
Hi, my name is Raquel Holguin. I represent Catholic Families for Freedom, San Bernardino, and Riverside County. We strongly oppose.
Line 269.
Hi, my name is T. Jacobian. I'm speaking on behalf of Tulare Coalition for Freedom, Blessings of Liberty in Porterville, Unmasked Tulare County, Red Rover Children's Advocate Group, Calvary Visalia Church, and Rock Harbor Church, in joint support with Den of Sacramento County and Freedom Angels, and we strongly oppose this bill.
Line 63.
Hi, my name is Delia Martinez, calling from Simi Valley, California. I strongly oppose this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Line 78.
Hi, my name is Wendy Palatucci. I am from Woodland Hills, California. I strongly oppose this extremely deceiving and dangerous bill.
Alrighty, thank you very much.
Line 154.
I am Brianne Mack, co-founder of Freedom Fighters of STV and a mother of three, and strongly oppose AB 665.
Thank you.
Line 266.
All right, two more callers.
266, this is Rebecca Gonzalez with the National Association of Social Workers California chapter in strong support of this bill.
Thank you. One more.
And lastly, we'll hear from line 84.
This is Jessica Romero of Colusa County, mother of three, and strongly opposed.
Thank you. All right, moderator, that's it in terms of callers. We're now going to bring it back to the committee. For those of you still on the phone line, you can submit written information if you like. Committee members, questions? Is there a motion?
So moved.
All right. Senator Durazo moves the bill. Senator Allen?
Senator Member, I'd love to get your take on some of the concerns raised by the opposition. I mean, obviously, this has been pitched in some respects as creating parity between kids who have access to private insurance to those that have Medi-Cal. I think that but as was mentioned, right, if that were only the case, then only that portion of the current code would be impacted. Obviously, there's been some language added in that focuses on allowing a kid to, and it seems like, allowing a kid to consent to residential services without the consent of the parent or guardian, and it requires parental or guardian involvement unless the professional person determines that the involvement would be inappropriate. And ideally, hopefully there's some criteria there to guide that. But can you give a better sense of there's obviously a lot of concerns out there about how this might impact parental rights, and I'd love to just hear your reaction to some of the issues that have been raised in the course of this debate.
Sure. Hello, this thing on. Thank you for the question, Senator. I would like to bring up our sponsors for the more technical aspects of the bill. However, the lies and misinformation on this bill have been so grand that the Associated Press had to, through a project that they're doing on misinformation and lies regarding policy, took an in-depth analysis of this bill and concluded that the social media advocacy against the policy, as well as some of the lies and misinformation regarding the bill, are completely unfactual and untrue. This bill does not take away parental rights. This bill does not allow an opportunity for a parent or a guardian to be involved. It does, however, align itself with existing policy that was signed into law 10 years ago, bipartisan support, signed into law by a Republican governor, with no opposition. Unfortunately, the conversation has far exceeded what the intent of this bill is. It's now a national conversation related to mental health in young people that also brings into the national conversation about LGBTQ plus rights. The two issues are separate. However, if a young person, let's say a 7th grader, goes to their counselor at school and says, I'm thinking about suicide, that counselor is mandated through the Ed Code to report that. And so it is important that we realize that this does not change existing law as to the parental rights of a child, meaning that that child will receive care, that child will receive counseling, and the parents will be involved in the conversation. There are over 186,000 homeless youth any given day in the state of California. Many are not in the foster care system. Many are living on the street. And there is an opportunity for those young people to be housed and to receive residential care. And so it aligns a lot of policies that are currently existing. But again, I'd like to bring up our sponsors as well to address the technical concerns over the that one particular item in the bill.
All right. Senator Allen, does that answer your question?
No, I'd love to hear from the
All right.
witness.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Senator. I would just say that AB 665 does nothing to change child custody law. It doesn't provide the opportunity for young people to consent to inpatient care. It doesn't provide the opportunity for young people to access medication or any type of surgeries without their parents' consent. It really is mental health counseling and treatment. And the residential shelter pieces, to clarify as well, there's that technical definition in the existing family code that really are temporary or emergency services. So those are the residential shelters that it's referring to. And the last sort of final technical piece I would just make is that this bill does nothing to negate the existing parental notification that's currently written in the law. So any providers of residential shelter services or of outpatient mental health care are required to go to their best efforts to notify parents that the young person is receiving the treatment. And this bill does nothing to change that. It's really, as Assemblywoman Carrillo has said, just trying to create equity between youth on private insurance and on Medi-Cal.
All righty. Thank you. Yep. Senator Allen, anything else? No?
Well, you seem to be in a rush. I'll let Senator Wiener ask some questions, and I may ask some more.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I'll move the bill, and I'm proud to be a co-author, and I want to really thank the author for moving this important bill forward and taking a lot of heat based on just extreme misinformation. I mean, including, one of the primary creators of misinformation in this country, Marjorie Taylor Greene, went after you on that bill, and I know what that's like. It generates just an avalanche of vile, toxic, horrible stuff. So thank you for pursuing this bill and for persevering. This bill is common sense. It expands access to counseling for young people who need it. It provides the ability to obtain shelter for a kid who's homeless. We know that we have an outrageous number of homeless youth under the age of 18 in the state of California. They are on their own on the streets. And to put them through hoops to try to access residential shelter is incredibly inhumane. They should simply be able to obtain it. A child who is being abused should be able to obtain shelter without having to jump through hoops. This bill protects children. It makes children safer. It makes children healthier. And it's unfortunate that this bill, like so many, has been caught up in this right-wing outrage machine that it's like every 12 hours they need another issue or another bill or something that's completely made up to try to just stoke outrage online, to scare people, to scare parents, to feed this just absolutely false moral panic that people are running around trying to steal people's children. We know that there are children who are truly at risk, and the outrage machine completely undermines our efforts to address actual children at risk by pretend that all children are somehow being targeted, and that the mental health profession is targeting them, and their teachers are targeting them, and LGBTQ people are targeting them. It is outrageous. And this is a good and important bill, and I want to thank you again for moving it forward.
Thank you. Other comments or questions? Senator Durazo.
Yeah, I too want to thank the author very much. One of the most important pieces of why I appreciate the bill is that there is a higher bar for access to care for minors covered by Medi-Cal. And that means low income, very low income families and minors who would not have access to the care that they need. So that in particularly struck me as something that your bill is correcting. So thank you.
All righty, thank you. Other comments? All right, Senator Wilk, did you want to comment?
Sure, why not?
Well, if I was mistaken.
You invited me, so I will. Anyway, great respect for the author, as you know, and I really appreciated our conversation we had earlier in the week. And going and speaking to a lot of young people, I totally understand just the need for mental health services. And also, you're just trying to extend a policy that was already done back in 2006. I personally don't think we should have passed that back in 2006, but we did. But one of the things that the opponent said that struck me, and just maybe somebody could answer this, that all we had to do was strike one word under Welfare and Institutions Code section 14029.8. It currently reads that section of the Health and Safety Code shall not apply to the recipient of benefits under the Medi-Cal program. All we had to do was strike not, and then all those group of children would be able to access it. So I'm just curious why we took this other approach when that was very simple and elegant.
Thank you for the comment and the question, Senator. If it were that simple, we would have done it. But as our colleague from Los Angeles mentioned, the challenges and obstacles for Medi-Cal recipients to receive mental health care is much higher than for private insurance. So therefore, we have to figure out how we get mental health services to Medi-Cal recipients so that they're able to actually access that care. I'm going to allow, if I may, to reintroduce our sponsor for more technical approach.
Senator Wilk. I would just add that, excuse me, it was not on airplane mode. I would just add that even if we did go the route of amending the WIC code, as our opposition has stated, we still would have two existing codes that would cause confusion for providers in terms of billing and creating access. And that would still ultimately not create this parity and equity that we want for all young people. So in order for on the ground and in practice to make this a really clean delivery of services for all young people, this was the route of amending the family code that folks in Medi-Cal are using to continue their billing versus going that WIC route. Thank you for the question.
Thank you. Senator Allen, I didn't want to cut you off. Did you have a further question?
I appreciate it. Someone just sent me the AP story that was just referenced, and I'm reading it. It's very helpful, and I commend it to folks.
Okay.
It's entitled, it was the one that was referred to by the author, California Bill on Youth Mental Health Services Distorted on Social Media by Corinna Fan.
All right.
It's a fact check.
Okay. Thank you. Senator Durazo has moved the bill. Assemblymember Carrillo, you care to close?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to the members for the conversation, questions, to our sponsors, and to the parents that are concerned. We would never move a piece of policy that takes away parental discretion, that would allow children to have access to, that would allow children to not have access to their parents. That's not the intent of the bill. It wasn't the intent of the bill 10 years ago. It's not the intent of the bill now. So there's been a lot of misinformation and lies about this bill, to the point that it has national and international attention as to how we treat mental health services for young people in the United States and in California. The bill was originally a bipartisan effort signed by a Republican governor. It had no opposition, but it excluded Medi-Cal recipients because it was passed during a recession. We are finally correcting that wrong and ensuring that the billing process for Medi-Cal recipients is corrected in the family code, and that young people from low-income housing and low-income communities across the state, most of whom are young people of color, and a percentage of those who are unhoused, have the resources and opportunities to receive mental health care. And with that, I respectfully request an I vote.
All right, thank you. Madam Secretary, if you can call the roll.
This is file item number 1, AB 665. The motion is to pass. Umberg?
Aye.
Umberg, aye. Wilk?
No.
Wilk, no. Allen? Allen, aye. Ashby? Caballero? Durazo? Durazo, aye. Laird? Min? Niello? Niello, no. Stern? Wiener? Wiener, aye. 4-2, members missing.
All right, 4-2, we'll put that on call. All right, Assemblymember Carrillo,